one.
Hey guys, Jacob here with Atlantic Power. I'm going to talk about the operation of your generator and a few things we can do to mitigate any losses in the event of a failure or shutdown. Things we can do to buy some time. Most all of your generators are going to have some type of a controller, pretty standardized. It's going to monitor everything from oil pressure, engine temperature, all of that type of stuff. This is also what is communicating with the transfer switch, and this will get the signal when the transfer switch tells it to start. Well, in the event that you have an issue with this, let's say there's a fault shutdown, you actually have an emergency bypass switch on the back of the controller. If you do not have one of these, they can be put on just about all of your controllers, whether it's a bypass switch like this one or a key switch. This one flips to the center position for run, and all the way up it's spring loaded for crank. And when you let off, it just goes back to the run position. So in the event that you had a fault shutdown, now what that might be, let's say you have a mag pickup or something go bad, that's a speed sensor. The engine will run fine without it, but if it doesn't see that engine is spinning, it'll go into a shutdown condition even though the engine will run fine. Or it may be something like a low coolant level switch. If the low coolant level switch is going bad, it may read low coolant and shut the unit down when you can take the cap off and perfectly see that you have coolant in there. So this is a critical tool for being able to bypass a nuisance shutdown or a fault shutdown. The thing we need to keep in mind is if you're using the bypass, you are taking ownership of that equipment. You're bypassing the safety shutdowns. We have seen instances where someone has bypassed a high temp shutdown that was a legitimate high temperature shutdown, and it actually ran so hot that it melted the wiring harness to the block of the engine. That's what shut it down. So you can absolutely ruin an engine if you bypass a legitimate shutdown, but this is a great piece of equipment for bypassing fault shutdowns. Moving forward, here's your block heater. Something else we've seen is, let's say you have a water pump go bad. We can take a plastic tee and we can disconnect the block heater, put a plastic tee in there, and actually run a hose in from your well, take your radiator cap off, and we can pump water, well water, into that engine. It pressurizes, pushes through the engine, comes back out of the radiator cap. And we have seen engines run a couple of days like that with plastic tees. Let's pause this.